Hey everybody, I'm on time today. I'm exactly on time. I didn't even mean to start on time like this. That's what I call prompts. So today we are in store for a good episode, a good live discussion. We're going to be talking about cultural appropriation, and we're going to be discussing whether or not a non-black person wearing braids is cultural appropriation. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the question. Pin the question at top. I'm gonna have a few people on with me. I'm gonna have two girls on with me today to discuss this. Let me go ahead and pin the question. Okay, there go Barbie doll right there. She's gonna be joining. Is a non-black person wearing braids cultural appropriation? Okay, I'm about to add you. Let me just pin this question. If you guys don't know my take on this, I don't believe in the concept of cultural appropriation anymore. I did believe in it once upon a time. What did you curl your hair with? I had perm rides in like 2 weeks ago. This is the hair falling. Let me go ahead and send the other girls in here. So I went ahead and reached out to them. They both said they're ready. So I think we're gonna have a good night today. Make sure I got everything together. Lower this down So the question I pin is a non-black person wearing braids cultural appropriation? And by braids, I mean box braids. We all know what braids I'm referring to when you think of a white person committing cultural appropriation, the braids that come into your head, that's what I'm talking about. The braids that are claimed as black culture. Okay, there goes I am ISIS. Let me send both of y'all a friend request again. I mean a live request and get y'all on here. Okay, I just sent them both the request. They should be popping up any second. All right. How you
Hey,
doing?
beautiful.
Okay, let me try to add her again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to, because I have another person joining also. I just want to make sure. Okay, she's sending me a request.
Okay, but
But how are you doing tonight? I thank you so much for joining.
of course. I'm doing all right. I've just been vibing, I just got done eating dinner.
That's good to hear.
What about you?
Yeah, I've been having a great day. Just been sitting here watching Shark Tank.
I love
Just
your
chilling out,
loss, by the
enjoying
way.
this nice Friday.
I really,
Okay, I
really
don't know
like your
why it's not letting me
locks.
add her. I don't know. Let me try one more time. It says you're on here. It's saying remove from live video, like you're on here already. Okay, I'm gonna remove you and try to add her back. I'm sorry, I'm experiencing crazy technical difficulties right now.
It's all good, babe.
Okay, maybe she'll be able to come back, but for now, it says she's unable to join. For now, we're gonna get into the topic of conversation today, which
Yeah.
is cultural appropriation. So this is in response to a comment that you had left under one of my clips that I made. The clip that I'm referring to was a clip where there was it's a pretty old clip actually. It's a clip from a few years ago where there was a young white girl who wanted to get box braids like the brown ladies that she saw online and at school or whatever. And her mom was basically telling her, you can't do that. And, what ultimately ended up happening in that situation was the young girl ended up getting her hair braided because the video that her mom posted went viral.
Right.
And, people donated and people were like, oh, well, we'll braid her hair. And so what I found, when I was researching that video was I found a lot of examples of like black people who were upset just given the fact that they were being encouraging to this young girl who wanted to get this hairstyle. And so, in my mind, I'm like, that seemed like a very innocent thing. It seemed like a good thing, honestly. I'm like, I don't really see the issue with, the girl getting braids.
I mean, she don't know
Okay,
no better. It's just braids to her.
right. So it's, what's the conversation? So with the comment that you had left, it was a pretty long comment. I posted it on my story, but in summary, you were basically saying like, these are our styles. Some things are our culture. and there's a history behind our culture. You know, you mentioned how, you know, braids were used to create maps for slave routes and stuff like that, which is history.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, ultimately, it's just like, can you like give a summary of your perspective on that topic?
On the
Cultural
topic of the
appropriation.
history in itself.
Cultural appropriation. Like, do you think that what is your stance on other races wearing braids that are
Um,
considered Black culture?
well, it's not necessarily the braids per se, like box braids in
Right.
specific. Um, that I feel as though is like the cultural appropriation because, like I stated in like other comments, it's just braids. It's just added weave kind of ordeal. Now, will certain hair textures will it fall out? Of course. What to me is the cultural appropriation is with you're going to wear the braids and you're going to act Black. Like you're going to put on that little persona. That is the appropriation, in my opinion, that I feel as though like is like the no. Because I personally have met some like some white girls, some even Asian girls that have had like box braids kind of ordeal, and all of a sudden they have this hoodlum twang.
Hoodlum twang.
That's the best way
So
that
that's
I can
okay.
because you know what I mean. Like one
Yeah,
one
I know.
minute
I
like we
understand what
sound like we're
you're saying. I
cool, and then all
understand.
of a
So
sudden we
what?
got this little hoodlum like thing going on. You know
Right.
what I mean?
So that's what you would kind of describe as like acting Black.
How they would describe acting Black is. That's not how I personally would say that like acting Black is, but that's how I've noticed how other races, if they want to act Black, that's the first thing that they jump to is that kind of like stereotype thing.
But I have seen examples of, you know, people putting on different personas that might be painted as a caricature type of thing
Yeah.
when they have different hairstyles. But I don't know. I just want I want to kind of push further what you saying they act Black. Like, what do you mean by acting Black? What do you consider acting Black?
Well, for me, there's no thing as acting Black. I just act like a person. Like I get told I act white, me personally.
Right. People tell me
So
I talk white too. So I
yes.
mean, it's
So you
like,
feel me? We get
what
told
is acting
we
Black?
act
When you
white.
say they
So
put on the braids and they begin to act Black, it's like, what does that actually mean?
what is what acting Black
Like,
actually mean?
yeah.
I feel like that's
Or
kind
give me like
of
examples of the traits.
yeah. It's situational because really it's a stereotype that in
So it's a
itself.
stereotype that other races wear braids and put on a Black persona.
Some people, yeah,
Right.
that put
Some
on that
people
whole
do that.
character, like you said.
Okay. So do you think that when it comes to box braids, for example, should non-Black people be allowed to wear them?
Should they be allowed to wear them? No, I don't really care. Me personally, I like. I don't like. It's your hair.
Right.
If anything, I want them to understand what can happen if you don't take care of them.
Yeah.
Like if because you're just getting them just because it's like it looks cool and that's cool because it does look cool. But if you're just gonna sit there and just get it and not understand how to take care, how the purpose of it is to take care of your hair, not even the history or whatever that type of purpose, but the purpose of the protective hairstyle is to protect your hair. And so if you're not gonna do it and keep your hair healthy, kind of ordeal. I'm not saying like you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is to just be educated about it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Actually a comment that I've been seeing a lot of people saying. Like, they feel like you need to have some type of education before you get certain hairstyles that are associated with Black culture. But when it comes to education, it's like, well, what education do you mean? Like, I hear what you were saying about like they should have education on, you know, how they should handle the braids and, you know, how to handle their hair.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen other examples of people saying like you should understand the history behind their hair. That's the education they're referring to. So do you feel like people should be educated about the history of these hairstyles also as
If
like a prerequisite before wearing it?
if you're gonna be like if like we're gonna be ignorant about it, I would say yes. Like if we're just gonna be like, oh, it's just like because I do understand. Yes, it's just hair. Yes, it's
Yeah.
just fake weave, et cetera, kind of ordeal. But if we're gonna negate and act like there wasn't history, that's kind of like my beef. Is like if you don't even acknowledge it at all, or even acknowledge the fact that your hair is just different, and like because your hair is so different, like it's just not necessarily going to work as best as like we would hope. Like I mean, it's cute, and there are ways like we figured out ways to tweak it. You feel me? Like the feed in braids kind of ordeal to make it last longer for silkier hair. Because even with the curly girls that have more silky hair, like their hair will fall out too if they don't have to take care of
Right.
their hair. So like, but as far as the like, do I feel like you need to know the history of it in order to get it? No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing people say that, and I'm like, wow. So what? They gotta have a quiz before they get their hair done? Like that sounds a little crazy to me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No. I don't feel that. If anything, I feel like you need to have a course on hair type, hair texture, and how to get like how to have your hair like actually stay with the hairstyle kind of ordeal. Because there's a lot of like white girls that will get the hair, and a lot of black girls will take advantage of the fact that they don't know what they're really doing, and they'll have them pay $200 extra than what they already do, and their hair will fall out. And that's simply because you're not educated on what it is like you have to do to get your hair done to make sure that it stays. Because you can get the box braids, but will it stay?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think hair care is important for everybody in general. Hello. How you doing?
Hey.
How you guys doing?
I see you sent the request. I wanted to let you
Yeah,
know.
on my other page because it wouldn't let me go on live on my regular page, but
Oh, your
hi,
locks
what's
are
up?
Okay.
cute
Here.
too.
Oh, you Barbie doll.
Yes.
Okay, Bob.
What's
Okay, you're finally
up?
here. I'm used to your other
Yeah.
picture. Okay, great. You're finally
Yes.
here. So were
Yeah.
you able to hear kind of what we were saying, like the discussion we started having? Okay.
And I agree with what she's saying, about the educating them. But I really feel like we shouldn't police people on what to do with their hair because it's really their hair. I don't know how we can teach white women, oh, you should do this or don't do that, or the braids will. If the braids decided, if the braids want to fall out their hair, it's going to fall out their hair. It's not really for us to judge. Braids really don't really belong to one culture. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't
I mean, and
Yeah.
as far as
imagine.
like when it comes to hair maintenance, the same. What she was saying about people not taking white people not taking care of their hair when they get braids and losing hair and stuff like that. I
Mm,
feel like the damage that's done to a lot of black women's hair with a lot of the so-called protective styles they
mm,
utilize and abuse is not a discussion that's really had, because I know there's a lot of black women that suffer from hair loss, long-term hair loss from just the obsession with covering their hair up. And
yeah,
I see it's
and
very
permanent.
common to talk about white women and what they're doing to their hair and how they're damaging their hair. But when it comes to black women and their hair, I know firsthand that it's a pretty taboo topic. And honestly,
Yep.
people don't even want me to talk about it.
Yeah, and another thing is, I've, for being honest, I have yet to see a black person with straight hair. I'm just be like a full. I'm talking about
Like
They
both
not, they're
mom
natural
and
born
dad.
straight hair. I mean, me
Both
too. Me
mom and
personally, I
dad
ain't
is
seen one
fully
either.
black. But I'm not saying mom is mixed with. I'm both mom and dad fully black. I have yet to see that. We have to manipulate. I'm not saying we can't grow long hair, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying like to straight it for it to be bone straight. That's not us. That's really not us. That
yeah,
Yeah.
is
for people
Nah.
not us.
to be
I can't
claiming
agree
that,
with that.
trying to
I
make
believe that our hair,
the anomalies the rule. Like it's common for black people got straight hair too. Where
no,
I don't really,
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Nah.
it.
no,
Nah.
no,
I
So
ain't
it's
no,
just like
no,
seen that.
the same thing
no.
with blonde hair. They're like, oh, black people have blonde hair. The Melanesians. Yeah, stop with that tired picture of them. Okay, I understand that
I thought it
they're
was a
deprived of certain black people to
mutation
have
though.
blonde hair, but they do not have straight blonde hair. They have blonde afros.
Yeah,
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that.
yeah. So Um, I'm on both sides because sometimes I wear wigs when my locks were shorter. I wore wigs but I'll be a hypocrite to be like, oh, you can't wear that and da, 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 because again, our hair comes out curly, that tight curl. We
Yep.
have to manipulate it. If those women want to sit there and say, oh, you're trying to be like us, can we really get mad? Because that's really not our hair texture. We have to perm our
You
hair.
can't get mad at it.
Yeah,
But
we have to perm
but
our
God forbid
hair.
if a white lady was to say that, publicize that, that would be wrong. That would be white supremacy. We know that for a
It's
fact.
so crazy because I work around a lot of non-black women, and it's so crazy how they would I don't want to say copy or they. I didn't feel like they were jealous of me, but like for example, if they like put the braids in, they'd be like, "Oh, don't I look pretty like you? I feel like I look pretty like I feel like I'm a pretty little black girl." And I just be like, I wouldn't take offense at it. I thought it was funny to me because I was like, "Oh, that's just adorable." But they would always ask questions like, being interested about my hair, and they was like, "Oh, I'm kind of scared to wear braids." I was like, "What the fuck you think I'm gonna do? Beat your ass? Like what?
Right.
What? I'm not
But
gonna
that's
do
a legitimate
anything."
feeling, yeah, because
I mean,
I
some people
literally have seen
do
news
that.
stories where
No, I'm
people
not gonna do
actually
that.
beat up white girls for wearing braids.
No, I ain't gonna do
A white
that.
girl got jumped on the street for having braids in
Oh,
her head.
hell
Solely because
no,
of
nah.
braids. That's the type of stuff
I
you
don't got
see out of
time
this.
for that, man.
It's not right.
Nah, I don't got time
Right.
for that. It's not right. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not right.
I mean, I just feel
It
like
is
at the end
not
of the
right.
day, if you want to get a hairstyle, get that hairstyle.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be no uproar about it. There shouldn't be nobody trying to tell you that you're racist
Shit
or you're
like this
committing some type of
only
cultural
happens
appropriation because
in
you're
the
getting a
U.S.
hairstyle that
I'm
you
trying to
paid
tell
for.
you, shit like this only happens in the U.S. I'm not saying racism doesn't exist anywhere else, but if you leave the United States, you'll see how different people, how different races act towards black people. It's not like how it's portrayed in the U.S. I'm being completely honest. I've had friends, because I'm African. I've
Right.
had friends who went to Africa, and they was like, of course you are nice because we know you, but they was like, the things I've heard about Africans, or the stories I've heard, y'all rude, y'all this and that, and y'all welcome us with open arms when we go to Sierra Leone. I'm like, yeah, what did y'all think we was gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're not gonna do nothing to y'all. All that stuff was just made to create problems. That's why
Yeah.
there's so many problems in the United States. It's problems everywhere, but in the United States, it just seems like we can't get it right. It
Yeah,
just
a
seems
lot
like
of
we always fighting about skin color, what to do what you should do with your hair, what you shouldn't do with your hair. This person can do this because they're black, or this person can do it because they're white. Like, I don't, like, come on now. Come on.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like my overarching question, because I've been faced up with a lot of controversy recently for my perspective I've taken on cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
I took a video on my honeymoon on the Bahamas, and there was a white woman getting her hair braided on the beach by one of the island people. And I took that video. The video just had 1 million views today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people all in the comments just having like conversations about cultural appropriation and whether or not this lady should be allowed to get her hair braided.
What were
But in my opinion, it's
What were
not
they saying
supporting
in
a
the
black
comments?
business.
Is that what the
What were they
comments
saying
on
in
the
the
story
comments?
was about?
Oh my, man, I get so many comments I couldn't tell you what they're from, but I think they may have been from that. But yeah, it's been a lot of different like
They was
arguments
wilding in
going
them.
on, and what I'm seeing is most people really don't care what other people do with their hair, but there's a small group of people who apparently hold a lot of power who feel like this division is necessary, and they're telling people that, hey, if you're white, you're not allowed to get this hairstyle. Period.
I bet you.
And if you get it, you're racist.
They probably believe in white supremacy too, and I always thought that shit was created for the guns and shit. Like, they probably believe that white people are superior towards us. They probably believe that too.
Yeah.
Not the Blizzy without me.
Oh.
But no, I think
Right.
I think
I didn't know this was that
personally,
type of lie.
no, that is. I think that most of the beef though is not really, at least like for some people that I've talked to, most of the beef is not really with the fact of like the racist perspective. It's more so like, this is our thing.
Right.
Can we just have one thing for ourselves? Is one perspective that I heard.
Look, I get that, but in my mind, it's like, this is our thing.
Right.
Most black people, are familiar with braids. We should be the main ones capitalizing off of this.
Yeah.
You understand how many white people are in this country, in America? It's way more of them than it is of us.
Right.
So I think the smart thing to do, if we want to talk about supporting black businesses, these girls, all these girls out here doing hair, they need to be expanding their audience and not talking about cultural appropriation. Because I've seen situations where a black girl will say she's willing to do anybody's hair, and people are trying to get her business shut down.
Oh, that's what?
Yeah.
See, and that
Why are you doing
I don't understand.
You're not supposed to do white girls' braids. That's not black code. And that's insane to me. But we talking about we supporting black businesses. That makes no sense.
Tell it someone. To me, honestly, I feel like, and a lot of people don't agree. A couple of my friends don't agree. I honestly believe, because again, me being African, I believe black people could be racist. I've had this conversation with you. I believe it. To say black people can't be racist is like saying women can't be sexist because men have more power. Like,
and people believe that too, though. It's just like, wow, why do you think that? How could you possibly say black people cannot be racist? But me personally, I've been getting called racial slurs for the past months.
They was
on
calling
a
me
daily
African
basis. Y'all
booty
ain't calling me
scratches
because
in
of my
school,
skin
man. They
color.
was
No,
calling
for
me all
real.
type Michael Blackson. Oh my God.
I just
They
don't
was lighting
understand.
my
I'm just
ass
like,
up.
y'all can be
Man,
racist, and y'all will be
man.
racist.
Back in school, being dark skinned and being black was like being like back in slavery days, like 1912 or something like that. That shit was
We
wild.
was you
It was
in black
wild.
schools with black kids. They the
Oh,
ones that's
those were black kids
disrespecting you
saying
for
that
your
shit to
skin
me.
color.
It wasn't white kids or the Hispanic kids and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying, when I said I'm not saying other, I believe every race can be racist. I believe every race, because every race has had slaves before, if we're being completely honest. Black people have owned black
We
slaves.
owned ourselves.
Yeah. If black people want to say, okay, it was outside influence, okay, that's fine. But we've owned slaves too. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I'm not trying to take away from what we experienced. I'm not trying to do that. But if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about everything. I can't sit there and tell a Asian person to go back to wherever the fuck they came from, and that's not racist. Or tell them bling bling or chinks. That's racist. That's not funny. Or that
Yeah.
them excusing that black guy jumping the damn judge. That was fucking wild, man. That I was like, no,
And I
that's not
was
funny.
just saying, if with that situation with the dude pouncing on the judge, if that was a white man and a black female judge, do y'all understand that they would never stop talking about that?
Oh no,
Ever.
That's a
oh
fact.
no.
Ever. We would never hear the end of that. That was actually insane.
No, we would hear the end of it. They was because black men be getting sent to jail innocently. I'm like, what that got to do with that? He's not innocent. What that got to do with that?
He's obviously not innocent.
What that got to do with that? I was like, yeah, he needs to be in jail. He needs to. I was like, if that was, think about it, I was like, honestly, if that was a white judge, if that was a white man, would he have done that? If that was a man in general, would he have done that? Probably not. Probably not, but we would never know. I was like, that's really fucked up for them trying to justify that. They was really like, oh, because, well, you don't know, and he was going through something. I'm like, man, if y'all love him so much, make sure I put money on his fucking books, man. He got a lot of fans. Put money on his books. Wow.
Ooh, yeah, that was a crazy situation that
It's
I can't
wild.
believe it's just kind of it's a meme, it's a joke. But I'm telling y'all, if this would have happened with what race swaps, first of all, it would not be. I've seen a lot of people like cracking jokes about this in the comments, like, well, I mean, he got that athleticism now, like he could jump. You see his hops,
True.
but it's like,
why he didn't go to school for it then?
right, he should have been doing productive with that.
Let's be honest. Why he didn't go to school for it? And I'm not even trying to be funny. If it was a black woman, I would have been saying the same thing. Why the fuck she didn't go to school for it? Why the fuck? Like, we gotta call our people out. It's white people are not superior over us. We're saying that.
Right.
They're not superior.
And I'm so glad I
not,
took that out of my
feel,
vocabulary. I literally used to say, I believe in white supremacy.
Me too.
I'm a victim of white supremacy.
Me too.
And now when I say I'm not oppressed, I'm not a victim, people are trying to tell me I am. I'm not. I said I'm not. Like,
I can't.
how many times? But I'm making it clear.
Yeah, there's a difference between accepting the fact you're not a victim and, just ignoring the fact. I feel like they feel like you're ignoring the fact because you acknowledge it, but you just don't feel like you're a victim to it. You know what I mean? Like,
I acknowledge that it's a thing that people believe in, but
yeah.
as far to say, and when I ask them, I put it on my story all the time. Like, do you believe in white supremacy? People put yes. I'll DM them like, why do you think white people are supreme to you? Right. Why are you calling them supreme?
Because they brought us here.
You won't catch me saying that. That's pathetic.
And they stole the land. We already know that. We already know that. We already know that. That I don't wanna make it seem like to justify it, but you know what Kanye West said the last time, it's not about, what did he say? He was like, oh, black people just chose to be slaves. I was like, I wouldn't say that, but I get what he's saying now. It's like, we got to get out that mindset. Like, let's get out that mindset.
It's different perspectives. Like, it's different mindsets.
Get out that mindset. Ain't nobody superior over me. Everybody has an expiration date. We all bleed the same damn blood. Ain't nobody better than me or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I believe black people can be very racist. Like, we can be very racist. We're racist to ourselves. Come on now.
Exactly. I mean,
So you
I don't know if y'all were
that's racist
watching
to
my It's
ourselves?
Just
You
Joke
wouldn't say
series
that's
when I was doing it,
colorist?
but all the comments that I was posting of people slandering natural hair were coming from black people. And I remember thinking, wow, I bet if I could find an episode where it's just all white people, I bet this will blow up like double just because it's white people.
Yeah.
All white people saying it. But I literally wouldn't even be able to find that. Because it's like, I don't be finding groups of white people talking about our hair. I don't. I'll see groups of niggas doing it though, commonly. It's easy to find. So it's like, well, we just talking about the white people hate our hair. They think it's unprofessional. Niggas don't like our hair either.
Yeah.
I know y'all was the reason I didn't like my locks for a long time. Black kids, I was
But a lot of it was taught though.
Yeah.
taught by
A lot of it was taught by like, your grandmother. Because your grandmother would be like, oh, you need to put your hair, you need to do your hair, you need to brush your hair kind of ordeal. And it was like that with their mother. It was like that with their mother.
And to this day, my family wants me to cut my locks. This is like my 6th lock journey. I didn't have like they want me to cut my day. They're like, oh, look nasty. You look like a ragamuffin. You look. If police, what? If police, I'm like, what? I'm like, what you think? Police are gonna shoot me? Because of what? Because of what?
If they were gonna shoot me, they were gonna shoot me regardless if I had locks or not.
I was like, man, ain't nobody. I'm not afraid of that. I was like, I don't fuck with the police. I don't be involved with them, so I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid. He's like, but what if you're just sitting there? I was like, the likelihood of that happening, like, what is the likelihood of that fucking happening? Like, come on now.
Situation.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a likely thing, but I wanted to go back to something that was just said. Oh wait, I just lost my train of thought. Wait, hold on. Wait, what was we just talking about? Dang, I just lost my train of thought.
He was talking about
right. Oh yeah. So when it comes to the generational curse that I see that occurs in the Black community, when it comes to our hair, and how a lot of people like receive the self-hate that they have towards their hair from their families. When I ask people, because a lot of people will be like, well, we were taught this from white people. I asked them directly, what white person told you that your hair is something wrong with your hair?
Right.
That's all I asked. What white person told you? Not some hypothetical white person that you don't know, that you think is lording over you. I'm asking, what white person told you? The only person that told you was something wrong with your hair was somebody that you know. That's the truth of the situation. It's usually somebody close to you, somebody in your family. I know this from firsthand experience. It was my family members, my classmates, Black people around me slandering my natural hair. So I know that generational curse is something that just festers within our communities. And to this day, I just hear people casually slandering our hair. And it's like, wow, we the only race that just consistently does this. And it's normal to look on the TV and not see, you see a Black woman, she does not have her natural hair on her head. She doesn't. And it's normal.
It's funny when we do it because they say that's one way we laugh. We have to laugh at our pain, but it's racist when the other people do it. I don't.
Right, but it's just jokes when it comes to us, right?
That is a different perspective. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. Because we've been through so much, and you can't tell people how to heal. Like, what the fuck is that? What the hell is that? What type of healing is that? Insulting? What the fuck?
Right, that's not how you deal with it. And it's always the people who make the most jokes about natural hair who don't like their natural hair. I've noticed that recently. I haven't really been talking about locks exclusively like I used to.
Yeah.
But I'll still have people slandering my hair. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought most of the people who were on my page at this point were, natural hair enthusiasts, at least to say the least. But I'm finding out that was a facade too, because y'all are saying my hair is dirty. And the ancestors wouldn't want me to have locks. I need to cut them.
Yeah. You're not on that. Whatever that pro. I don't. What is that again? With that Dr. Umar shit, like walking around.
Pro-Black,
the woke.
Yeah, white people thinking white people are the devil, and it's so crazy because I was like that. I used to walk around and be like, oh, if any non-Black person does something to me, it's racist. It's racist. It's racist. It ain't no damn racist. It's not no damn racism. If nobody calls me the N-word, if somebody is just being an asshole to me, I'm not gonna sit there and label that racism. I'm just gonna label that person is being a fucking asshole.
And that's how you should carry out in life. Because thinking that you're a victim in every circumstance is literally exhausting. As somebody who literally I was pro-Black. Like, it's not like I was just kind of passive. Like, I was at Black Lives Matter rallies. Like, I was pro-Black. And so I was adamantly.
I'm sorry, my friends went. They went because I'm in the DMV area, and then it was like they got shot with rubber bullets and stuff like that, and they was like, why you ain't go? Because I was like, I knew that was gonna fucking happen. I knew that was gonna happen. I ain't about to. I'm not. I was like, I can't, man. We done seen too many civil rights activists done came and died and all this, and we still ain't got it right. So let's try to fix us first before we try to like fuck them. Like I'm sorry if any non-black people are on here. You know, I'm not trying to be rude to y'all, but I'm talking about the black people that's on here. Let's get us right. Like Malcolm X said this. Let's get us right before we try to, you know, challenge that, because we're still not right.
Yeah.
We still have problems with each other. We still, like, when we bring up the fact that black people kill black people, well, every race kills. It's like, oh my God, we're not talking about
Right, but we're talking about black people.
we
need to talk about this. We need to talk about what's going on here.
Right.
Let's talk about what's happening at home. Why are we talking about what somebody else is doing? But what are we doing to ourselves? Let's talk about the fact that we're leading in single mother households.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Moms.
I think that plays. I think the crime rate and the fatherlessness that's heavily, you know, saturated in our community go hand in hand.
Well, but I know a couple people who still, like, with their father in the picture, are still kind of.
Yeah, I mean, look, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying some people can have shit fathers.
Yeah.
Some people can have shit mothers. You can have two parents, and they're not compatible. But nonetheless, I think that your odds are better if you have two parents who are committed to each other, as opposed to, I know a lot of girls who don't even want to get married. They looking for a baby daddy. They're trying to set the kid up for failure.
Looking
and then
for a baby
wondering
daddy
why
is
crime is so
wild.
damn bad. I'm in Chicago, so I know firsthand how this city operates, and this niggas running around out here acting crazy. I'm not even...
You're funny, bro.
down.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of issues. And in my overall theme on my page now, because I haven't necessarily moved away from natural hair at all, but I've changed my angle. I want to tell black women, instead of just telling them, hey, you know, you're a victim of, you know, self-hate, you should get over it, I'm gonna help you. Now I'm moving more like, you know, yes, you're dealing with self-hate, but what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Are you gonna perpetually blame other people for how you feel about your hair? And then on top of that, are you going to turn around and be racist when it comes to somebody else wearing braids? The very braids that y'all claim is y'all culture and y'all love so much, I have documented evidence of groups of black women slandering these braids, saying they'll never wear them to a birthday party, saying they'll never wear them to a date. That's not
Yeah, they be calling
that's
them
not a date hairstyle.
unprofessional.
So it's like, well,
doing all types of shit.
Wait, what you say?
I was saying they be calling it unprofessional and all types
Right,
of
calling
names.
y'all be doing that.
Yeah.
Y'all be doing that. But
if you don't have
talking about white people.
It's big on that lace front shit. I mean, because I wore lace fronts, and my fucking edge, that shit, if I'm being honest, it damaged my fucking edges. And
That's what I was talking about earlier. Like,
if you put it correctly, no, that's glue. What do you mean? That's glue.
Literally.
That's what I was talking about earlier when, you know, I see a lot of black people saying when it comes to the white girls and braids thing, oh, they're damaging their hair. I'm like, okay, that's an argument. That's an argument. I don't know what the impact of the braids are. I think it really depends on who does it, honestly, and how heavy it is, how long they had it in, how thin their hair is. It's a lot of factors, not just skin color. Okay, and I'm like, you know, there's a lot of black women out here who suffer from traction alopecia from their weave addictions, but that's a taboo topic. So, you know, I just want to help. I'm trying to help. And I know a lot of the girls don't like my delivery. They think it's very aggressive. But it's all in love. I'm like trying to tell y'all, like, y'all have been duped into thinking that there's a white man lording over y'all, and there's not. There's nobody, no white person is supreme to you. And I'm like, if you believe in white supremacy, I'm asking you right now, everybody in my comments who's watching this, if you believe in white supremacy, why do you think white people are supreme to you?
Yeah.
Because I don't think any man is supreme to me. Supreme? I don't think so. Are you kidding me? And so just the fact that I was taught that in school and in college, it's just like, wow, like, I reject all that now. I reject it. I'm not gonna call myself inferior to anyone. Are you kidding me? Because that's what you're doing. We saying the white people are superior to you. You're thus saying that you are inferior to them.
Yeah.
It's 2 + 2. It's math. So yeah.
And
Look,
I definitely ain't that.
I ain't nobody over me. I don't know why. I continue to walk around and say that shit.
Yeah. It's just like, wow. I remember learning that in high school, like when I was like 14 years old. Like they're teaching me that there's a culture of power. White people are straight or heterosexual. Older white men are in the center of power, and then it expands and expands and expands. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm never gonna be in the center of power because I'm not a man, I'm not old, and I'm not white. So that's pretty damn depressing. And when I had that thought process, it's like, well, I mean, why should I really like try that hard if ultimately it's going to be a roadblock put in front of me because of my skin color?
Right.
What's the point? And that was a very, very depressing way for me to carry out my life. I'm just like, kind of thinking, what's the point?
Yeah,
So I'm telling you, I feel liberated in the sense that, I'm free to express myself in my opinions because I've been thinking like this for a while, but I was scared to even dare voice this online because I'm like, these people finna lose their minds. They gonna treat me like a piece of shit. They finna try to drag me online. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm getting thousands of comments regardless. So, I mean, I hate to see some of them, but it is what it is. But
our people won't wake up. They won't never wake up.
Yeah, they don't want to. They like being asleep. So, it is what it is. But look, I appreciate y'all so much for coming on here. Miss Isis is Bari Dog. And I want y'all to have a good new year and a great night, okay?
Yes, ma'am. You
Thank
too.
y'all.
Bye.